love you so. Love you, funny thing. How I love you so. Now I'm back again. Jody, you got to go. My suits don't fit me, and all my pals are gone. My suits don't fit me, and all my pals are gone. You open the third front, baby, so I'm giving you my home. Esther sent me a telegram and you smiled at me. If Esther sent me a telegram and you smiled at me, I'd forget Emily Post. That's the way it'll have to be. here, woman, smelling like a barrel of gin. Yes, you coming here, woman, smelling like a barrel of gin. I ain't gonna tell you no more. Next time you can't get in. Well, I work like a workhorse, and you always parked at some bar. Well, I work like a workhorse, and you always parked at some bar. I don't mind you going sometimes, but now you're going too doggone far. You're smiling old Henry, and you're winking old Fred. You think you got me hoodwinked, baby, but I'm just laying dead. So I'm telling you, baby, like the butcher told the goat. Well, you had your fun, now I'm cutting your throat. Sitting on a rainbow, got the string around my finger. What a world, what a life. I'm in love. I've got a song that I sing. I can make the rain go anytime I move my finger. Lucky me, can't you see? I'm in love. Life is a beautiful thing. As long as I hold a string, I'd be a silly so-and-so if I should ever let go. I've got the world on a string, sitting on a rainbow, got the string around my finger. What a world, what a life. I'm in love.
I'm Ralph Gleason. This is Jazz Casual, and you've been listening to the music of America's foremost composer, Duke Ellington. And if I had to identify him to you as a pianist, something's wrong with our educational system. The bassist is Aaron Bell. The drummer is Sam Woodyard. Duke Ellington is here with us. Duke.
Thank you very much.
How are you? What was the name of that song?
That is Happy-Go-Lucky Loco.
I thought that was Night Train.
Oh, they do sound alike, don't they?
Yes, they do.
Well, as a matter of fact, they are identical. Through some strange coincidence, this came about. We did this in 1946.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems along about the same time, in 1951, the other one was written.
Mm-hmm.
So this is purely coincidence, you know?
Well, it shows the influence that pure coincidence has on popular music in America.
Yes, it's strange, isn't it?
Duke, as such a prolific composer, it has frequently occurred to me, looking at your itinerary going around the country night after night in concerts and nightclub appearances, when do you have time to compose?
Compose? Oh, anytime. I just composed something a while ago while I was waiting for... After the director said 30 seconds, I just composed something. Very interesting, too. Well, I had the plan for quite a little bit of development there on a certain theme that I stumbled upon. It's a good piano. I like that.
I'm glad you do. We'd hope that you would.
This is a lovely station here. KQED. I like this.
It's very interesting.
Everything, it's wonderful. I mean, it's you feel as though that you're here performing on the plateau of culture.
That is why we have the columns in the background.
Yeah, well, I mean,
it's vista.
It couldn't be more, I suppose.
Is it a very difficult thing to...
I'm thinking of shall we discuss the station?
All right.
Normally, I mean, if I was kidding, I would say, like, Ralph, you know, the station likes you so much that they have named it after you, like, KRALF or something like that, you know, but they didn't do it, you know, this time. They should, though. I mean, you're great.
Well, I feel very let down if they didn't.
You and I always feel like in the same category. I feel that I'm, you know, in the same level with you because you have proven that you are a great listener. And it's always, well, I know that the only thing I do in music is listen. Not the only thing, maybe, but the big thing I do in music is listen.
How do you mean the big thing you do in music is listen?
Well, that's it. I mean, that listening is the most important thing in music. Yeah.
Of course it is to the listener, but there must be sounds to be produced to listen to.
Oh, no, because before you can play anything or before you can write it, you got to hear it. If you can't hear it, then it's a mechanical thing. It has no...
Then the composer is a listener primarily.
Well, I should say so in music, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because it has to do with the ear, you know. And no matter, some of the prettiest things on paper come off very, very drab.
Do you, when you listen, even without the sounds, which of course poses the philosophical question of when a tree falls in the forest and there's no one there to hear it, does it make a noise? Nevertheless, when you do listen without the actual sounds, do you then transform the talents of the various men in the orchestra with whom you have to function to correspond to what you have heard prior?
Yeah, well, this is where the listening becomes doubly important because in listening, I mean, you hear, you imagine, you see a note on a piece of paper. At the same time, you hear it. And then when you add the character of the tone that comes with a certain musician behind a certain instrument, then you get a specific sound. You not only get the pitch or the timbre of the instrument, but you get the tone personality that comes with the combination of this particular performer.
Well, then does that pose a problem over the course of years as certain elements alter and evolve and change in the body of an orchestra?
Well, problems are funny things. I think if I had never had a problem in music, I never would have gotten into it. You see, I enjoy my problems. My problems come to me as opportunities. Sometimes they're a challenge. So, I mean, it's like, it's like going big game hunting. When you get a big problem, you know, you say, well, here's a guy who uses a certain mute and a horn, and he can get only 7 good notes out of it, you know. And then, so the problem is to employ these 7 good notes so that they come off effectively and accomplish the dramatic aim of the sound and so forth, or whether they blend with another instrument, which of course is almost equally as limited in its way. Now, when I say only 7 good notes on an instrument, I mean, this can be misunderstood, of course, because on the cock valve, the trumpet, I mean, Rex Stewart found out that he had much less than 7 good sounds, and when he did Boy Meets Horn, you know. And personalized writing is very, very important. It is to me. I mean, if I didn't know who I was writing for, I wonder what I'd write.
What has been the greatest problem you have faced writing?
Problems? Well, problems like that. I mean, there are no problems. I mean, actually, they don't come off as problems. Problems aren't problems. They're opportunities.
Well, then would you recall an opportunity that was more outstanding than others?
Oh, yeah, because an opportunity which was a problem at first, when we were recording Black and Tan Fantasy, and using the two squingiphones, you know, the plunger and the mute inside of it, this tone, 2 of these instruments in the microphone, the trombone and the trumpet, they caused a mic tone. And so we had to tap, I forget how many masters, because every time the guy, and everybody was very sincere about it, and we wanted that sound. But in order to get it, we had to get the mic tone with it. And so as a result, I mean, you know how strict they were about those things way back then, when I was 5 years old. And so we threw out all these masters, and so finally we got one through with a minimum of mic's tone. So when I was writing Nude Indigo, I decided to use these mic tones. You see, so to create this mic tone with the 2 instruments, the trombone and the trumpet, and add another note down a couple octaves below, so that I thought that this might centralize the mic tone and give it an imaginary, specific pitch, which I understand it did. But of course, this is only for the listener. I mean, of course, everybody who puts a record on a machine doesn't necessarily listen to it.
Not necessarily at all. It's often, I have wondered frequently if the opportunity of having a continual forum for your thoughts and for your experiments and your opportunities and your problem, which is a relatively unusual thing in the realm of composing, if this has had any effect on the manner in which you think. Because you have the opportunity, apparently, one supposes, to implement your ideas in a relatively short space of time.
Well, I mean, I don't quite get that. I mean, it's, you mean...
Do you consider it lucky? Do you consider it good fortune? Do you consider it an asset that you do have a continuing forum in which to implement your ideas?
Well, I don't have a forum.
Forum?
No, I mean, because what happens is it's more luck than anything else. It's very lucky that we encountered this problem, for instance, with the 2 horns and the mic tone. Because if we'd never had the problem there, it would have never have occurred to me to employ the mic tone.
Now, when you
and there are many people who accomplish this. I mean, but I don't know whether they set out to do it in the beginning or not.
Is this problem an electronic problem which is solvable outside of the studio on a
well, I mean, I don't think it even exists anymore. I mean, because they've cleared up so many things now. I mean, even some of the record companies have machines now where they take old records, you know, and they run them through this machine, and it comes out with, you know, high fidelity, and all the noise is scratched off of it and everything. And they don't have that anymore. You can do anything in a microphone now.
It has occurred to me also that with the such things as the GI Bill producing a generation and several generations of young people who are musically schooled, producing them in quantities, that this suggests the possibility of jazz forms that will be more completely written than they have been in the past. Is there any, do you see any possibilities in this?
Well, I feel that the American audience generally is becoming more and more musically mature. That's been coming on for quite a while. I think we've had an opportunity to see this more so than anyone else, and over a longer period, because we started doing these long, unknown works, you know, as far back as 1932. We did, Creole Rhapsody. And then in 35, we did Reminiscing in Tempo. And in 38, we did Diminuendo and Crescendo. And then in 43, we did Black, Brown, and Beige. And then every year after that, we did one for the premiere at Carnegie Hall.
Is the fact that the American audience is becoming...
Oh, and incidentally, we used to find audiences everywhere who would listen to it. And I think this is the great thing. When you play something that's totally unknown to an audience, and they sit and listen to it. And, you know, it isn't like, say, for instance, you come in and you'd say to the audience, you know, we're going to play T for Two. Everybody say, oh, yeah, well, I know T for Two, and I'm going to hum along with it, you know. But this is something they don't know, and it's long, you know. And, you know, and you sit, and this has nothing to do with the geographical situation of the audience either. I mean, this does not mean that this is true only in one of the 2 cities in the United States. You know, we find these people everywhere, all over the United States.
That is on the plus side, then.
Yeah, way up. I mean, we played, let's see, we've been doing those things, and we always did them in all the concerts up in the University of Iowa, because, you know, you used to go to the University of Iowa. If you listen to the bad, comment of people who don't know, you'd get the idea, well, I mean, you know, you're going to have to play something that's not so fancy.
T for Two.
Well, terrific number, you know. I mean, now let's don't get T for Two mixed up, you know. Vincent Humans wrote some of the real great things. But when you get there, and this was way back in the early 40s, and it was we played things like the Tattooed Bride and all that, and long things, you know, with no theatricals or anything added to them.
Does the rising sophistication of that audience enable you to enlarge your horizons, perhaps?
Oh, yeah, well, I mean, this is a point of encouragement, because I'm the type of writer who says, well, I never look at money, you know. I mean, I never look at the royalty check, so I have no idea what my monetary status is. I only go by those who listen. If I go someplace and there are 2 people who are listening to what I've got to say, you know, then this is it. This is enough encouragement for me to go on and do what I want to do, you know. But, you know, but it isn't like, say, for instance, you're dependent upon the record company come back and say, well, listen, you know, you sold 2 million copies of so-and-so, so you should do that same thing over again. Well, I'm not guided by that, unfortunately. I probably should be.
Well, fortunately for us, you aren't.
But I never concern myself about the size of the audience. I don't even want to know whether they're listening or not. I mean, I'm sometimes annoyed when I suspect that possibly an audience is analyzing. I don't appreciate analysts of music. Analysts, if you're busy analyzing, then you don't have enough time left to listen.
And enjoy.
And if you don't listen, you can analyze anyway. So,
of course.
I mean, you have no foundation. I mean, a listener is one who listens, and if they once listen, they always listen. They never change from a listener to an analyst.
Never.
Never.
Never at all. They also enjoy it.
Yeah, that's very important. Listen and enjoy.
Yeah. I would like to ask you if it would be possible for us to have the opportunity to listen and enjoy to some more of you on this program. Would you honor us? What would you want to do?
Very happy. Hey, what happened? I thought Strayhorn was going to be here.
I don't know what happened to him. I looked for him.
Strayhorn was supposed to be playing the piano when we were talking.
Perhaps he...
You suppose he's a listener?
Perhaps he is.